Greetings programs, welcome back to CK2, and this has taken a little bit longer. This gap since the last one's been a bit longer than I wanted, but I've just been feeling a bit naff lately, so that's why my video production schedule generally has been a bit lackadaisical, shall we say. So, where we were at last time, well, we'd taken a decent chunk of Ireland, enough to make the Crown of Ireland, or Scotland 2 as it's now called. And the remaining provinces, well, they're all tied up in various ways. So, Tyrconnell is tied up with the Duchy of Dyfed down there, Deheubarth rather. And these are both also tied up in Wales. So, by tidying up Ireland, I'm going to have to make inroads into Wales at this point as well. And I'd hope to have at least a bit of Northumberland under my control before I got that point. So I've got a land bridge, but I have sufficient naval power by this point for all of my fleet levies. I can raise more than enough ships to transport my troops around. It's just transporting troops around, and especially trying to make amphibious landings, can be a bit of a pain. So we'll see how that works out. But basically, if I want to take, well, Poland's the odd one out, but if I want to take any of these provinces, it means also adventuring into Wales, so I might as well strike directly at Gwynedd, because it's got also the Duchy of Meath entirely under its control, and Meath is what I'm interested in right now. So I'll have a quick look around the rest of Europe. The north-south split in France is still going strong. Sicily's still just about hanging on. There's no real changes down with the Fatimids. Russia does not seem like it's like none of the Russian nations, well, the principalities, I suppose they would be really, none of those have really gotten going. I mean, Cumania has basically, this Khanate as it is, has basically overrun where most of these Russian miners would pop up and grow to be Russian majors, as it were. And the only ones that are really left independent are Yaroslavl here and Polotsk. And as for the rest, well, it's all pagans of various sorts. So you've got the Suromenskos and the Tengrists, and not much of the kind of Russian Orthodox area is actually under control of Russian Orthodox characters. And the only real kind of Orthodox block on the map remains Byzantium and Alania. And Carpathia still seems to be going reasonably strongly as well. I don't usually see Carpathia pop out. That is an unusual occurrence. Elsewhere, I'm not sure what else to show you. I mean, Spain is... It's not really changing that fast, Spain. I'm actually surprised. I mean, it is now almost... like this is what? 3/4 at least under Christian control, so... most of it is now Christian, but the Almoravids and the Taharids, they're still controlling part of it. But we've also got the Duchy of Seville, which has popped up as an independent somehow, but that's probably not going to last too long. Castile is currently ruled by... it's still... okay, interesting. And that is... Aquitaine. So that could be very interesting, actually. Aquitaine and Castile could end up converging, and yeah, no, they will converge. So that is going to be an interesting block of land that you don't normally see. Elsewhere, yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll zoom all the way back in and unpause. And my immediate plans are, well, I think it's going to be Meath, because I can just make a de jure claim, basically. I have decided to leave Poland alone for now. I mean, I could go after them. There's no way they could get troops across to me, but it's going to be easiest to do that. And also, by taking on Gwynedd directly, I will then be basically in a truce with them, and Ormond might get called into this war, because they are an ally of Gwynedd, so we'll see how that goes. I might be waiting the full truce period before I can take Ormond itself, but by that point Gwynedd won't be able to attack me directly on Irish soil. They'll have to go get troops across. So it's all a bit, yeah, so what I will do actually, do they have much more to actually... is that all retinue troops? I think it is. Yes, so they are almost reinforced. We can basically go to war almost right away because my regular troop numbers 6,000 out of 7,000. My vassals are almost... In fact, my vassals are maxed out, so that's absolutely fine. And we can make the Irish borders look a little bit neater because they're a little untidy at the moment. We can take a moment to look at what's going on in England as well. Still a pair of civil wars, both claimants for the throne and both of House Caption Guy. So it's all essentially kind of War of the Roses. Well, not even War of the Roses style internal fighting. This is a proper family feud at this point. This is various members of House Caption Guy contending for the English throne. And the more these squabbles keep up, the better it is for me. The weaker that England ultimately is. I mean, I'm still trying to get a claim on Northumberland. It will hopefully happen eventually, but how many episodes is it now? How many hours of gameplay? How many in-game years have I on and off been trying to get a claim on Northumberland? I don't know. Northumberland just doesn't want to happen. I have also double-checked that my councils are all, you know, the best that they could be, so I have the best man on the job at the moment. So we'll fast forward a bit here. In fact, no, we don't even need to fast forward a bit here because those troops have already... they were already exactly where I need them to be. So, yeah. Oh, also, I have counselled the plot against What's-Her-Face, who's the Queen of France. I think we're just going to lose that to France, but France is not a particularly strong kingdom at the moment. So the prospect of having to go to war with France to reclaim Ossory is not a particularly scary one. It's not going to be a tough thing indeed. So we are going to declare war, and it looks like I can't get a de jure claim on the entirety of Meath because I don't think he's actually created. No, he has created Meath. How come I can't just create? How come I can't just de jure declare war on him to get Meath? I don't know. That's annoying, but I think Dublin, I guess, would be the one I'd go for. Because Dublin's the richer province. So that deprives him more, essentially. So, let's just get this war kicked off. Immediately march my troops in, because the troops he has available locally aren't that much of a problem. I probably should have... I know one of his allies. Okay, France. Like I was saying... France won't be a problem. Well, we'll see. He's also got a couple of English dukes, Wessex, Weiss, I think that's how you say that, and some barons, Earl of Ormond, Countess of Ossory. So I'm not too worried about them. We'll see how many of us actually come into the war. But in terms of, let's see, Count of Ormond, yeah, he's called him in. That's, oh, he's got a fair few troops though. So we will need, let's raise my troops in Oriel. I'm not convinced I'm going to need all of my troops for this, but we'll see. And I should double check who my allies are. Is there anyone that's going to want to come in on my side? Duke of Munster. I don't really have to... no one that's really outside of the kingdom apart from Farquhar MacJedis, who's in Deheubarth there, but they've got their own problems right now. In fact, it's saying I can... yeah, he's the only one I can call it. Right, so we'll merge those troops. And... shall we raise the men of Tunbury as well? I think so. Money-wise, we're doing very, very well at the moment. In fact, it's 177. I could perhaps see... I can upgrade the Castle Shipyard. That's the only thing I can upgrade in Castle MacJedi now, actually. It's not so much money as technology that's holding me back there. Training grounds would be very useful in that particular castle. Tunbury's got a whole bunch of stuff. Forest is just a castle shipyard I can afford. Taine's got a few things though. Militia training ground, plus 100 base troops. Yeah, we'll go with that. 168. That's most of my current pot of gold, but it's going up so fast at the moment that I think that's absolutely fine. Also, who are they at war with? The Silesian War for Prince Dietrich's claim on Poland. Okay, Poland seems to be having problems right now. That's a pair of claim wars, it looks like. But they can't actually get to the Polish, like, they're never going to get 100% based on occupation. They're only ever going to get 100% based on, well, partial occupation and beating them in battles. So, yeah. Interesting. This is an interestingly fragmented, like, the biggest power there in this whole region is actually pagan Lithuania. Who are all Romuva at the moment. So, yes, this is all very interesting. Anyway, it doesn't look like France is coming into this war at all, which is fine by me. And I've got 4,000 men there. They've got 2,500 actually in Ireland. And I think once we beat this, I could raise one more. Like, even with troops raised, I'm making money at the moment. I could raise, say, my troops from Cumberland. And let's see if I've got enough ships actually in Cumberland to get them across. Yes, we'll do it that way. So if I march them through there, there's every chance that they'll try and intercept in Oriel. So yeah, we might skip ahead while this siege is going on. We'll march them into battle against these guys. I don't think this war's going to pose too much trouble. Like, if France had come in, that would have made things a bit tricky. But yeah, at the moment with oh, I think that's one of the yes, one of the civil wars done. So it looks like Gospatrick he's weathered one storm. He's trying to weather another. Yeah, England's kind of, my plans for them are a bit on the back burner at the moment. But I actually do have plans, and this would be a good moment to say that I'm also open to suggestions. If anyone wants to, if they've got an idea about like conquer France, or I don't know, you know, just throw out ideas, and it might inspire me to go off in a different direction than I might have been going to otherwise. Because I've gotten to a stage in this where it feels like, well, I'm just consolidating, and England would still prove a challenge in a straight up fight, but I'm doing my best to try and keep England relatively well, actually no, I'm not even having to do that much. You know, I've assassinated one king in the past, and they're pretty much the various troubles and civil wars, it's all rumbling away without me having to do an awful lot about it for the most part. So yeah, any suggestions? Like, I do want to, I have as a kind of a shortish to medium term goal, take over enough of England to make Britannia, to become the Empire of Britannia. Or I'll probably change the title. I'll probably change it to, I can do that, right? With this, yes I can. I'll probably change it to like Scottania or something, because, you know, why not? But yeah, and even kind of shorter range goal before that point, because you need 3 crown titles, is to take over enough of Wales to become the King of Wales as well. I don't know what we'll call that. Scotland 2 works both as a, you know, a name and as a kind of a pun, but Scotland 3, I'm not sure. We'll come up with something from Wales. That I've insulted all of the Irish. I might as well insult all the Welsh as well while I'm at it. All of the Celtic peoples. I mean, that just leaves the Bretons at that point. So maybe that's the thing I should do, is try and attack Brittany. Although it's technically Navarra still at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. So I'll fast forward a bit here while this siege is going on, and I shall see you in just a moment. Okay, so we're back, and despite having almost twice the number of troops, the sieges, well, their siege actually went slightly faster than mine, but that's more to do with fortification levels than, well, both to do with fortification levels and the number of troops. But at this point, my troops are free to march in and give them a sound thrashing, and it shouldn't be too much difficult. Too much difficult? Yes, English is too much difficult. It shouldn't be too difficult, or else I shouldn't have too much difficulty. One of the two, you know, just make your mind up there. But no, I tried to mash them together, as I frequently do. That's what it'll say on my headstone, probably. It'll just be, "Here lies PointyHairedJedi, word masher." I don't even know. Right, my nephew Regis. I will tell him he is not ready because I don't have any land to give him. I'm still positive in terms of his opinion of me, so that doesn't really, that's not really a big problem. Now, the only danger of this war is Colin II is directly controlling, he's directly leading these troops. So, there is the possibility this might all go horribly wrong and he might get killed on the field of battle. That can happen. And it's very bad if it does. Or even worse if he gets captured. But that is fairly unlikely. I mean, it can happen, but it's actually this is complete tangent, but the Game of Thrones mod, which is basically Crusader Kings 2 but with dragons. So even if you didn't like a Game of Thrones particularly, who wouldn't want to play CK2 but with dragons? Actually, I could siege that fairly quickly. That would give me more war score. But if you create a character who is... also, I can ransom this person, maybe. That has a dragon. If you meet, say, another character with a dragon, there's a whole special kind of battle event thing, and you can basically decide the outcome of a battle and a whole war just based on one-on-one combat between two dragon riders. It's kind of cool. But anyway, yeah. What is he offering? He is just going to give me it like that. Has he got problems of his own? No, I'm the only person at war with him. That's an unusually low war score considering, although I did completely thrash the pants off of his forces, but we'll accept that. So I directly hold Dublin myself at the moment. I really need Kildare in order to... we're at truce right now, so if I wanted to declare war... Well, he already hates me. But it would be very bad for my reputation if I were to immediately try and declare war for Kildare. I might be able to declare war for Ormond, but I don't think I can. No, we're at truce there. Okay. So I don't have any prisoners to dispose of. No, that's fine. So that's slightly tidied things up a bit. I'm actually... I'm slightly tempted to try... I wonder if I can create another pet republic, because Dublin would be a good place to do it. They could build potentially 2 more cities within Dublin, and I could give them the barony. Battle of Blackadder. It's a pity there's no Edmunds in that lot. So, yeah, how does he think of me? Oh, if I'm looking in the right place, that was the guy that died. 53. That's not too bad. Because at the moment... Well, they want Carrick. What I could actually do, instead of creating a whole new republic, is give them Carrick. And then directly hold Dublin and Kildare myself. And also, ooh, money. 90 gold. I think we might spend that. So that's a possibility. I could do it that way. I mean, I've invested in Carrick. If I actually see what my... not that much, but it's still worth nearly 1,000 troops to me. Turnberry. Yeah, 832. So, yeah, but the thing is, Dublin, I can upgrade Dublin, as it were. I can build new holdings. I can build new cities. That could be potentially a much richer holding for me to have. And it would be not annoying anybody because, of course, I would have the duchy directly held, as it were, by myself. And at the moment I've got Ulster and the Isles. I might finally get rid of Ulster if I do that, because as I've mentioned previously, if you have too many directly held duchies, people don't like that very much. If you hold too many ducal titles. So, yes. That's a possibility. We'll just hang on to it for now. We can't upgrade that, but yeah, we'll see. Right. Tain, I could upgrade. Keep. Castle Town would be useful, even more money. Stables, barracks. We'll go with the keep. It's quite an expensive investment, but plus 10% to both levy and garrison size are quite useful. So I will get more troops overall, and more troops is good. More troops means watch out England, I'm coming for you. So we'll fast forward again here, and there's not a whole lot happening right now. I don't know what my next target is, actually. I don't have any direct... Like, it could be Poland. Poland's got troubles, man. And the fact that I could have an easy de jure claim, I'm kind of tempted to leave that alone just because it's amused me so much. But wouldn't it be funny if Poland was reduced to one holding in Ireland? Although it's unlikely to happen because somebody else would be able to usurp the title, potentially, if they had enough of the constituent provinces of Poland. But if they didn't, I mean, if it was all split between different people, they could just be the Kingdom of Poland in Ireland. And that could just be a permanent thing, potentially. But I don't want to leave it to get that far. So, yeah, we'll fast forward a bit here, and I don't know, some opportunity will present itself, hopefully. We'll see. So, the Osorian inheritance has happened. I don't even know if that would be the correct adjective, but whatever. So that's now owned directly by the King of France, who is Irish. So we have an Irish King of France. We have the King of Poland also in Ireland, and the Irish King of France is in Paris, and I don't even know. It's all kinds of messed up. But still, we can declare war without any penalties, although I will just check his allies. He has surprisingly few, considering he is, you know, the King of France. But France is not what it used to be. In fact, France is still more powerful than the Duke of Burgundy there, but probably not that much more powerful. So, yeah, if Aquitaine wanted to take out France, it probably could. And once that Castilian inheritance happens, that's going to be interesting. That's going to change European politics quite considerably. So let's get this war started and hope this doesn't all backfire on me horribly. So I've got a couple of options. I can use a direct claim, or I can use a de jure claim, and I can claim either for myself or for my vassal. And we'll do a de jure claim for my vassal, just for neatness' sake. And it will directly go to him because it's currently held directly by the King of France. So, also my marshal died, which is why there's a hole in this lineup. So we need a... I'll put my spy master in there, okay. And we will move my troops directly into Ossory. And this is just my retinues. I don't think we're going to have any problems. Although he does still have some ports. He might decide to ship some troops over, at which point I might actually need to raise some levies. So we'll see. This might not be a complete cakewalk, as the Americans say. It might not be a total pushover. The concept of a cakewalk, by the way, that always confused me somewhat. I mean, it's an apt expression, but just who on earth came up with, like, the cakewalk? Why is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway, we won that fairly easily, and also we have a message. As the farmers prepare for sowing their spring crops even, your court chaplain suggests you bring out the holy relic in procession bless the fields. Yeah, why not? Might as well. No real reason not to. Although you can choose not to just because you think it's superstitious nonsense, of course, but it's not really going to matter, especially either way. And oh, finally! Yes, use it! 188 gold, 150 prestige. That puts me very slightly in debt, but it doesn't matter. So, let's actually just check. Colin is 33, right? There's no way... Well, actually, I'll say, there's no way he's going to die before I get to make use of this claim, but there's every chance he might actually die. This game can entirely be arbitrary like that. Your king might just keel over at any moment. There was actually... I've missed like the last 2 weeks of it, but I've been doing a multiplayer session of this with some SGTA friends, and my initial king was because we all started with custom characters and custom dynasties, of course, and my initial king ended up having great pox and leprosy and depression and a scar and all kinds of things. So yeah, he was slightly interesting, and he lasted a surprisingly long time considering he had great pox and leprosy at the same time. So yeah, oh, and lunatic. He was a lunatic as well. Surprisingly capable king, all things considered. So anyway, But yeah, now this is going to be... We might actually have to take the fight to them in terms of getting enough war score to settle for a peace. Otherwise, it might just be a war that drags on and on and on. But we need to beat their armies. Because in EU4, I don't actually know if it's the case. We'll double check. But you get ticking war score in terms of actually having the war goal. And having the war goal, I think it just gives you a bigger percentage of your war score than a comparable province. But if it were EU4, holding on to the province for long enough gives you a ticking positive war score, basically. And that can be very, very useful because you might not have enough war score to actually force peace otherwise, but if you just hold on for long enough, then you actually get it. So, yeah. So, also, Gwyneth is back in this fight, but that's not a problem. I think that's the only ally who's called in so far. Yes, it is. Yeah, I think we can take them, Wales. It's only even half of Wales. Ree's Jason's son and... oh, because he's... I don't even know how you pronounce that. I had decided at this point I'm just going to, like, for the... After all, Caption Guy's hard work, I'm not going to mess with that. But these are Norwegian, so this is going to be... I don't know even how you would say that. Skjolg, maybe? Skjoldgrisen. Actually, that sounds kind of cool. Anyway, here's a MacJedi, that's all that matters. We have actually, like, the... oh, that's fine. Loaded reinforcement grade 50%, and we won the siege. But the Dukes of... where are we? The Dukes of Albany, or the current Dukes of Albany, are all Norwegian. So we've actually got quite a... We've got Scottish, fake Scottish, and Norwegian. All within the Scottish purview. And some Irish characters as well. So we're getting a bit multicultural at this point. It's quite interesting. So France has landed exactly 1,000 troops. That's surely going to be somebody's retinue. But that's not going to be a problem. We also have 2,000 Welsh troops sieging the south. So I will raise up my northernmost troops. We'll meet them all up in Clydesdale. And I don't think we'll have too much trouble taking out that army. We've got more than... Not quite twice their number, but more like an extra third. That siege is nearly done. Those sieges are going nice and quick, although I have got 3 speed there. So that does explain that, at least partly. Oh, it's going awfully quickly. Oh, that's because I've got it sped up. Also, it is almost double the amount of troops. I just can't count very well. Shut up, Caption Guy. Shut up. Just shut your face. Don't want to hear it. So, we've got 2/3 of that province sieged, 20% war score just from that, and we'll get a bit more from battles. It's actually quite handy if they send troops over to me, and it's actually landed more troops, so we'll actually bring in reinforcements. Will there be much to raise in Dublin right now? Not really. 97 troops. But, we'll actually, I think we'll meet up these guys and we'll tackle, in fact, we'll raise the Dubliners. We won that fight and we won that fight. And that's a name and a half. Well, oh, he's a Crusader apparently. Let's see if he wants to be ransomed. Because that's 10 gold and I'm not going to turn up my nose at that. Take care of those remaining Welsh troops. I'll actually march that army down and they can start sieging Kildare. Might as well use them now I've raised them. It's quite nice I'm at the stage now where I don't even have to... Like, there's a war and it's like, oh, I don't even have to raise all of my troops. Makes things slightly less panic-inducing at times. So we'll move those in and attack those guys. We'll move those down there and lay siege to Kildare. And this should be... Well, we'll see. I mean, in that last war, I was offered peace at, what, 46% war score? So maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get offered a nice deal again. We'll see. Also, I think being at war once again with Gwyneth, I mean, it will have reset. It'll of course him reputation-wise, because we were in truce. And even though it's been called in by his ally, I think that still hits you in terms of your reputation. But it means Ormond will run out of truce sooner than Gwyneth will. So I should be able to just go after Ormond without him having basically any allies. I don't think he has Countess of Derby. I don't think the Countess of Derby is going to be a problem somehow. So, yeah. So we can siege these provinces, and the fact that I can actually siege some closer provinces for extra war score is pretty useful. Oh, we've got a mayor as well. He'll definitely have enough... ransom, rather. He'll definitely have enough cash to play for his own ransom. And my steward's doing a fine job of... I sent him to raise taxes, and yeah, he's doing a fine job of actually getting some nice cash money. And this is my son. We'll get him a bride as well. Arranged marriage. Actually, we want the other one, don't we? Because we want it to... We want to look just not within the court, just only within the court, but outside the court as well. So he's not particularly great at any one thing, although his diplomacy skills aren't half bad. And this Polish courtier, she looks like the business. Her intrigue's a little weak, but look at the rest of that. Oh, she's got genius, that's why. Well, if I can get her in... Genius is a very nice trait to get in the family. You know, it's not likely. Caption guy might have a couple of words, but... Yeah, we'll see. And they will agree to it. And I'll have an alliance with the Duke of Turov from Poland. That's not going to do me much good, but... It's nice on paper, anyway. It might make the AI a little more hesitant to attack me at various points if they see I have more allies, so we'll see. Not that their AI's been particularly aggressive against me, because I'm fairly comfortable at this point. Like, if England and a bunch of allies, like if England, say, Norway, Denmark went after me, that would be a problem. If the HRE went after me, that would definitely be a problem. Although the HRE seems to be largely concerned with its own internal, you know, which is not entirely... unhistorical, although at various points, well, there was a lot of interesting interplay back and forth between the Holy Roman Empire, or various Holy Roman Emperors, and the various popes. So there's a lot of interesting history just there alone. Like the Holy Roman Emperors called themselves Holy Roman Emperors for a reason. And yes, there's a lot of like people flexing their muscles and trying to lay claim to the authority of the church, and it all gets very interesting. So yes, but we're not here for that. We're not playing as the HRE. In fact, I've never really played as the HRE in this this particular game. I have played in EU4. Starting in the HRE is one of the most interesting places to start in Europe, because you have a lot of, like, you're a small nation, you have a lot of small nations around you, unless you pick someone like, say, Austria. But just the different game mechanics within CK2 make it a rather different prospect than it is in EU4. So we'll actually 57%. I raise some ships. That's 2,000 plus, say, the ships of Oriel. Oh, in fact, we could, between what I know I can raise from Cumberland. Oh, that's more than enough. So I can actually raise more ships there than I can raise from my principal holding. Maybe I need that shipyard in, yeah, we'll actually do that. Castle shipyard, plus 7 ships. Be quite useful. Relatively inexpensive as well, so I might as well do that. So yeah, let's send some troops down into Wales. I've got an army going spare, as it were. This is the one that has my retinues in it, so I'm going to have to be prepared to bring them back. Not that I'd want to disband the other army while they're actually in limited crown authority. Ignore that. We don't want him to have any more crown authority than he does at the moment, because the more crown authority he has, the less civil wars he's going to have to put up with. And we don't want that. I'm sorry, House Caption Guy, but we want you to have all of the civil wars. Ah, well, he got it passed anyway. I'm not especially, like, only reason I am included in those is because I have a province that is de jure part of England. So anyway, yeah, so this actually, I think what I'll do is I will tidy up this, we'll finish up this war in Wales, and at that point, the next episode, it's going to be, well, you'll have made some suggestions by that point, and I will be making a move. In fact, I know what I could do. The Knights of Calatrava, interesting. This is a holy order that's popped up, so that's okay. Well, actually, Durham, that's what people were suggesting. That's all within the Duchy of Northumberland. If I could potentially get the claim for Durham popping up, I can make a claim for the whole of Northumberland. That would be pretty nice. But anyway, yeah, so that's just I should have thought to do that immediately after I made that claim, the successful claim on, yeah. Anyway, so what's his percentage per year? Oh, he's still arriving, apparently. Or is he actually there yet? 15% yearly. That's actually a pretty decent chance. That siege is going all right. So we're just angling for war score here. So yeah, I didn't think I would be... This is like the opposite of history. Scotland versus France. The only time, like, after the... I don't think Scotland and France ever really fought each other. Although, obviously, after the Union of the Crowns, there were plenty of Scottish troops in British armies fighting against the French in, you know, Napoleon and all that. So, in Napoleon and all that, yes. The Napoleonic Wars might perhaps be the more rather proper way to say that, but anyway, whatever. There is a tiny army there, but they can't even, like, they 2,000 defenders versus 114 troops. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, we're doing a lot of blessing of fields with holy relics at the moment, and I don't quite know why. So these are his direct holdings. That is probably quite good for me in terms of getting war score. So yeah, how's this war going? I mean, we're winning pretty easily, but is he having... Oh, he is also being attacked by Aquitaine. So Aquitaine is going after France, and bear in mind these are both House... Actually, they were both House Capet, but because of a matrilineal... I think it was a matrilineal marriage, no? I'm not quite... That wasn't a matrilineal marriage, so I'm not quite sure how all the kids are of her dynasty. But anyway, the Irish kings of France aren't doing so well. Also, ill is not good. Ill is definitely not good. Prince Richard. Oh, he's had a son already named Corran. Hopefully he'll pop out a genius, but we'll never know. Well, we'll never know. We won't know until later, is what I meant to say. We will know. That's the opposite of we'll never know. We'll never know is that we'll never know. But we will. So I don't know why I said that. Oh, you can tell why I've been, like, I've attempted some video stuff over the last few days, but invariably I just throw my hands up and think this is not fit to be put on the internet. So I might as well beat their armies for a little bit of war score. Although that wasn't worth any war score, but it was worth a little bit of prestige, so that's worth having. Right, we will educate Ranald. Where are we? Educate child. And it's suggesting... well, actually, yeah. That's the... oh, apologies. Oh, wow. Give me a second. Sorry about this. Yes, apologies about that. I do keep forgetting to, like, sometimes I remember to put my phones on silent, including my house phone, and other times I don't. This is, yeah, I'm just being scatterbrained today. That's my excuse. So, yeah, this war's drawing rapidly to a close. I really hope Colin, don't die, Colin. We've spent all that time and money trying to get a claim on Northumberland, and if Colin dies, the claim doesn't go with him. At least I don't think it does. Yeah, will not be inherited unless pressed in a war. So if you press it in a war and lose the war, I think you keep the claim. I think that's how it works. But, yeah, otherwise, no. So this is why I was looking at his age earlier and thinking, yeah, he's less likely to die. He's only in his 30s, but even so. Also, let's have a quick look at the laws. It still looks like Ki-Adi-Mundi's going to take both crowns. This is the downside of being having Tanist laws with multiple crowns, in that you can end up with different crowns going to different people, and that can split up a kingdom. At which point you start having to like engineer assassinations and whatever. It can get awkward. And there's my mobile phone, which I also forgot to turn off, so well done me. At least that was only a text message. And again, we're blessing the land to pacify the presence. I felt your presence. The peasants, even. Scottish Duke of Wolf, Duke Gyric's claim on Ossory. So someone else was trying to... Wait, what? Wait, what? We were winning! Oh, well, that'll be why then. Okay, we'll wrap up this episode here, I think. Aquitaine is now Aquitaine and France, and is going to be Castile as well. That's going to be a very big blob indeed. That's going to make life interesting, potentially. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And we also, interestingly, have Cornwall, held by House Captain Guy, has retained their independence despite declaring a civil war. So that's now held by Aquitaine. The time and money I've spent on this war apparently has been completely put to waste, but I guess Aquitaine took advantage of the fact that I was at war with France to then declare war, and oh well, Ossory remains out of my hands for now, but I can take care of that later. It's one province, it's fairly minor. I think next time I'll continue with a plan. I will concentrate on trying to get Northumberland and taking on England. So, as I said, at the whatever point of the video, any suggestions for the direction of this series? You know, I'm interested to see what other people will come up with. I've got one or two ideas of my own, but, you know, I will take suggestions, or at least consider suggestions. Leave them below. You can leave any other comments below. You can hit the like button. You can subscribe to my channel. And, as always, stay tuned for more.